G'day, welcome to Coast to Coast. Great to have your company for another week. Round 19 in the books. Unfortunately, no good against the Sainters at home. We'll get to that a little later. Oscar Allen joins me. We've already spoken to Gov, the great man. He's now gone, and we're obviously going to play that second. Otherwise, everyone would tune out after Gov chats.
Absolutely. It's just you and me. It's a great conversation. You guys should sit and listen. It's not only talking a bit of shop as per, but a little bit of footy, which I wasn't expecting to get out the governor. He's a great storyteller. Love that man.
Do you think he's reluctant to talk footy and just wants to talk Narn for days?
Yeah, flat out. He would never talk footy around the football club. Well, he doesn't talk footy to me, so that's probably because he doesn't respect my opinions on the matter. But Gov's a ripper.
Let's talk about your recent activity, Oz. I saw you in Oscar on the... I saw you in Oscar. How am I going? Yeah. I saw you in Melbourne for a photo shoot.
Yes.
So they've flown you over. Was this like you passed the looks criteria? Like, we'll send him because he's a good marketability, good looking fella. Like, why are you going?
It's funny you say that. So I'll give you some backstory. So this is the first year they've got 18 male and female teams in the AFL competition. So they sent over a male and female representative. So all the female sides was their captain or marquee player. And then the male sides, for all the Melbourne clubs who it doesn't affect, it was like Bontempelli, Joel Selwood, big dogs.
The business.
And then all interstate clubs were guys with season-ending injuries or currently not playing. So
who the Dockers son?
We're talking Sam Switkowski, myself, Peter Laddams, guys that aren't playing at the moment. Yeah. It was a good trip. Like, it was a monumental occasion for the AFL. So it was a great experience to be a part of that. It was freezing. It was 2 degrees on the MCG when we did our group photo shoot, and we're in playing kit and boots. So there were a lot of sideways moaning by the fellas, but it's actually good. It's good to get to, you get to know a lot of the guys through playing with them throughout the year. So it's good to see a couple of familiar faces.
You didn't do a few run-throughs on the G?
God, no. I'm doing none of the sort. It was freezing cold, and there was about 350 media there. So everyone was trying to sticking to their own and avoiding the limelight if you could.
On the subject of the media, I saw your face on the Channel 7 News. You've starred again in Barra's Breakdown.
Yeah, mate.
The reason I bring this up, I think you're doing a fantastic job, and it's clear that you're cutting your teeth on this podcast for bigger things. But what I did notice was the change of kit. So the first time you're on it, you've worn like a Mambo t-shirt. It was
an Ollie t-shirt.
Yeah, and it was just dripping off you like your swaggy pee. And I'm like, okay. And then
just casual, really casual.
Very casual. Just come off the Scarborough Sand. And now you've come in on the second occasion with like this awesome powder blue suit. I'm like, right, did someone tap you on the shoulder and say, mate, like, any chance of you just up dressing up for us?
So the first one
This isn't ABC TV here.
No, the first one I was told was a trial run. So I didn't think it was ever getting to air. So I've gone in casual shorts and a t-shirt, and Barra's in a bloody 3-piece suit. Yep. And then he was like, oh, we've got some clothes here if you want to wear it. And I was like, oh, I'll wear this. And it like completely misread the cues.
So they tried to help you. That's great.
But then the second one, I've come out in a wedding suit, a suit I've worn for a wedding prior. And then the third one, I've gone with like a checkered suit jacket. So I'm really up the only problem is my suit wardrobe, and a lot of it's MJ Bale stuff.
You beauty.
Is not that deep. I reckon I've got 4 or 5 suits. So I'm quickly running out of stock, and I'm not sure where I'm going to go. So I'm looking for any tips or advice, if possible, really, from anyone.
You might have to go back to the MJ Bale well. On other topics before we get to the game, Oz, it's great to see Willie Rioli back at the club, obviously taking some time off to go back to the Tiwi Islands after the passing of his father, Willie Sr. Very emotional time for everyone in the islands and for Willie himself and the whole family, of course.
Yep.
How's it been having him around? And obviously the support would have been great. Is it something you want to steer clear of him, or people are kind of getting around him and saying their piece? How does that sit?
It's an interesting one. I mean, it depends what your personal relationship with him is like. Obviously, it's been a very publicised thing, and he's a very public figure. Obviously, he's had a rough time of it, and thoughts and condolences go out to him and his family. But he was in great spirits today, trained with the boys, and is moving well. So I think when he's back at the footy club and he can just focus on playing footy, it always is good for him. And hopefully, he'll be back out there this weekend tearing it up.
Okay. I think it is time to talk some... Nah, not yet. Did you see someone brought a cat to the footy?
Yeah, it was on Josh Gallup's Instagram story, hey?
Yeah, possibly.
No, it's bizarre scenes. How do you get that in? How do they see that and just go, yeah, that's acceptable to come into the ground?
The cat didn't look like he was enjoying himself.
So what are you allowed to bring into the ground and what aren't you allowed to?
It's an excellent question.
Are you allowed to bring food into the ground? Like if I pack a sandwich, am I allowed to take that in? So these are the questions that no one knows the answer to.
Members and fans will know. I just don't get stopped at gate checks with a lunchbox. I don't know.
So those who don't know, we park underneath the ground at Optus Stadium. So sometimes you're coming in and they normally do a thorough check of your car to make sure you don't have anything, but they see the players and they just go, yeah, whatever, come straight through. And one of the boys, I'm not going to mention who it was, actually had a slab of beer in the back of his car, and you can't take alcohol into the venue because they want to, you can't take your own stuff. It's not BAYO, obviously. And one of the boys got stopped and they confiscated his slab of beer out of his car and said, you can't go in with it, mate. He's like, mate, I'm playing a game. Like, I'm not going to be using this. Now, mate, you can't take it into the ground. So he had to get it taken off him and taken to some...
Like lost and found,
yeah, lost and found. And then had to walk out of the stadium in his, like, playing kit afterwards to go pick up a slab of beer and then walk it back to his car.
Can you imagine some of the fans being like, oh, he's celebrating hard after that loss, mate? 24 of the best.
Yeah, it was just... I couldn't believe it. And it was just something, he was just sitting in the back of his car. He must have just left it in there.
I don't know. But bringing a cat to the footy is definitely not the way to go, I would have thought. Let's touch on the game now, Oz.
Yep.
Back on the bench again. I've got this great photo that I took. Oh, man, while I'm just spinning the wheels, I'm going to get it up for... it's of, like, Simo on the bench.
Okay.
And then you next to him. So when Simo comes down, are you a little bit more on edge now when the senior coach is next to you during all this? Have a look at this. Just the side glance of you, like, well aware of the senior coach's presence.
I'm just looking at him and thinking, if I can describe this facial expression, what is he talking about right now?
You're talking to Simo, eh?
No, Simo's talking, and I'm going, yeah, in my head, what is he talking about? I have no clue what's going on.
Do you find more pressure when he's right next to you?
Yeah, I guess I've got a pretty good relationship with Simo. Yep. So I've been fortunate enough to spend a bit of time with him this year. So I reckon Australian 12 months ago would be packing it. But generally now I'm not playing. So if I'm playing and I'm coming to the bench and he's talking to me, it's probably because I've done something wrong. So I'm pretty low key with it. My roles is a really good one because I can't really stuff it up too badly. Yep. Like, you just give positive reinforcement and then reiterate the messages I'm getting through the headset. So
showing clips other people have queued up for you as well.
Yeah, so it's very easy. But it is great and I do enjoy it thoroughly.
Okay. So the Saints game, another marvellous start, first quarter. Back-to-back first quarter wins, which is a major tick in the box of getting out of the gate.
Well, that was the problem we had earlier in the year, wasn't it? That was what everyone was saying. We weren't winning first quarters.
Mm-hmm. Well, Thumper was. I don't know if anyone else is getting on the bandwagon. And then all of a sudden it's gone 7 majors to 4 in the second quarter, and St Kilda gain ascendancy throughout the contest. So you've got the likes of Butler kicking 5. You've got Steele racking up 40 of the best. You've got great duels going on with Barris and
Crouch
King.
was also really good.
Yep. So talk to me about how you found the game sort of unfolding and where it all went right and wrong.
Yeah, so that 7-4 goals in the second term, I feel like is a little bit misleading because with 50 seconds to go, it was 5-4. So we were down by 3 points, and then those 2 goals just before halftime pushed the margin out to 16. We got it back to 3 points with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. They kick another 2 goals late in that quarter, so red time goals really hurt us in this game, and got to the stage where in the fourth quarter we were kind of chasing tail a little bit and we're pushing an uphill battle. I thought our endeavour in the second half was terrific. I thought our second half, funnily enough, we actually played better football, but St Kilda also lifted in the second half. So sometimes that's what you got, and guys like Dan Butler popping up for 5 goals certainly doesn't help. And yeah, Jack Steele and I think their midfielders probably took the chockies on the day.
Some interesting talking points throughout the match. Let's go with Josh Rotham as the starter.
Loved it.
Absolutely. I remember hearing Will Schofield during his waffle call when they took on Subiaco at Optus Stadium.
Rothy was awesome that day, had about 30 touches.
I won't be surprised if he polls Sandover votes in that game despite West Coast going down to the Lions. But he was magnificent. He was basically 20 touches, 20 hit-outs and set up many goals off his own, centre clearance work. And I think Will Schofield, bless the great man, said on air when he was asked the question,
he'll never do this at AFL
level. He'll never have to do this at AFL level.
Yep.
And if you went into the start of the year and said this was a possibility, you wouldn't have believed it.
No.
With the ruck stock, but what's happened in this catastrophic sort of availability year we've had, he got his chance. And Cheesy, he looked good.
He did. I mean, that's not necessarily a shocking call from Scully because I wouldn't have thought he'd do it either, but comes out as 14 disposals, 7 marks, couple inside 50s, kicks 2 goals. I mean, he was a pretty well-rounded game.
Well, one of his inside 50s was a goal he resulted in.
Oh, well, there you go. It's funny because he's naturally a defender, so he's always got that defensive mindset in the ruck, which is great to have. The challenge for him will come when their backup ruckman isn't Jared Lynett, who's never done it before, when their backup ruckman is Luke Jackson, or we go up against a side who have two bona fide, or Port Adelaide and they have Finlayson, who's their first ruck, and their backup ruck is Charlie Dixon. Two really big guys. So that'll be the challenge for him, but it was a great first start. It's exciting. I don't think many people outside the football club, let alone within the football club, 6 weeks ago thought this was a possibility, but he's doing a great job in it, and if he's doing it, he's going to keep playing that role.
Was it more, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm watching this through a television screen on this particular occasion, is it more like they've got Rothy doing the CBD ruck work, and then when they go inside forward 50, they might get Jack to be doing it, the bigger body, when it's throw-ins, and you're bodying up straight away?
We were doing that throughout the day generally.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think something that helped Rothy was, I thought that was Bailey Williams' best game for the football club.
So do I.
And he was going one out pretty much against Rowan Marshall until they both fell in a heap, and then the backup rucks would come on. But he had a goal, 18 touches, he had 9 clearances, 5 tackles, 22 hit-outs. That was awesome. I thought he was terrific on the day. His follow-up work was something that was really noticeable to me. Is that what you thought from home as well?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the 9 clearances and 5 tackles, let's face it, that Bailey Williams' size, what is he, 202?
Yeah, 200.
Yeah, so he's giving up a bit of size, so you really need him. Like Tim English, you really need his one wood to be the ground level stuff, to be those tackling, to get the ball on boot moving forward. So I'm not always really looking at his hit-out numbers. I'm looking at what he's doing when the ball hits the deck at that size and that kind of mobility. And I thought he showcased it the best on that occasion.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
Were you a bit upset that you weren't out there for Rothy's first goal? Because you're great mates with him.
Yeah, it was disappointing, but I was on the bench, so I went and gave him a big hug at quarter time.
Yep.
I just love him to kick 2 goals halfway through the second. I was like, he is making this role that I've struggled with the last 2 years look like a piece of piss. And I was actually kind of happy he didn't kick any more, to be honest. I might be finding my way back through the Scooby-Doos next year.
I think it's curtains for you. So we go from the positives to just a real baffling one with Tim Kelly's game. Well held by Windhager. Never heard of him. What a name. Windhager.
He's a good player, Marcus Windhager. I love him.
How many games he played?
He's played about 10. This is his first year, and he looks like a big boy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Covers the ground well. I mean, TK was, I'm not sure, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I'm not sure how restricted he was. He had a massive knock last week. There was serious question marks whether he was going to get up.
They threw that question to Simo, and Simo deflected and said, I don't think Tim would want to use that as an excuse, but I think it would have played some kind of role. They were throwing him half forward to break it up and break this tag up as best they can.
Yeah, but I wouldn't necessarily just put it on TK. I think a whole midfield group had our colours lowered, and I think it's fair to say on the day. I mean, when you look at the total numbers, I think Jai Cully was probably the standout of our midfielders on the day. Had 19 disposals and 7 tackles. And
even to say that sentence that you've just said, the standout midfielder of the day,
19 disposals,
was Jai Cully.
Yeah, I know,
Unreal.
Crazy. 6 weeks ago, he wasn't on the list.
No.
I know, but yeah, I mean, it's probably a good summation of how the midfield went on the weekend. I thought you look at Crouch and Steele combining for almost 80 touches, and then I reckon all 6 of our midfielders combined wouldn't have combined for 50 or 60. So that's probably where the game was won and lost, if I'm honest.
I thought is Tom Barras getting the votes again?
Yeah, absolutely. He'll get 10 coaches' votes. I might check that right now.
Okay.
Do you reckon he got 10 coaches' votes?
No, I think they're giving it to
Windhager or Steele.
That's a great point.
I
think it's a very heavily congested one. All right, let's have a guess before you look at it.
I think Steele will get the most votes. Tom Barras second, Windhager third.
I'll sadly agree with you. I think that's on point. Anyway, while you're getting that up, I think he's solidified himself to win his first John Worsfold medal. Something has to go pretty drastically wrong. He'd have to miss.
I think Jack Redden will also be Jack Redden had 25 touches, 9 tackles and 8 marks. He was also terrific on the weekend. That is remiss of me to mention. He's had a sneaky, really good year. I think Reddo might win it this year.
Right.
I think he's missed less games than TB. And
TB's only missed 2.
He's missed 1, Reddo. And that is the difference in the John Worsfold medal with the way the voting works.
Do you wish it was done differently, Oz? Do you think that it should allow yourself to miss 3 or some kind of formula, or like your golf handicap where you can have, because the golf handicap's done on your 20 scores and your best 8 count?
I'd like not best 8. I'd like
maybe that you can have 3 non-participation ones, and that doesn't count towards your people don't just overtake you because you've missed 3 games.
Yeah, but so does that mean everyone goes 3 less? If I play 22, they count 19, and you play 10, they count 7? Or is it you count every game until your best 15 games. That would be a good way to do it. Count your best 15
I was almost
games.
going to say, like, eliminate your 3 worst, and if your worst is not playing, then so be it.
Yeah, I like that. I think best 18. Jack Steele got 10 coaches' votes. Tom Barrass 7. Dan Butler and Brad Crouch.
Forgot about the
4 games to come. We're on the home stretch. We've got
I know.
Gold Coast in Gold Coast.
Yeah, so that's another Sunday game, right?
Sunday. Adelaide at home. Sunday, and could be a big one.
Yep.
Freo, last derby of the year. Chance to ruin their top 4 hopes if they haven't done that already.
And they're the home team, right?
Yes. And then Geelong in Geelong.
It's going to be such a classic trip, honestly, for your last game of the year where you're not playing for anything but pride. Geelong, maybe to avoid a spoon.
Geelong might be locked up first on the ladder by then. In fact, I think they will be.
Was having a great conversation with...
Do you think they rest a lot of players?
I was having a great conversation with Andrew Gaff because it's his 250th this week. Shout out to Andrew. Go and check out From the Track this week. There's a chat to Andrew. We've got testimonials from teammates and whatnot. And I was asking him, I was like, because he joined in 2011, so he's never experienced anything like this.
Yeah.
Such a down year. And I said to him, how are you finding it all, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, it's pretty brutal. I said, you remember that round 23 that we, or round 22, that we had to rely on that other result in the last game?
Against Adelaide, 2017, the year before I came.
Sorry, not that one. It was 2014. It was Simo's first year.
Right.
And it was Richmond v... oh, my goodness, I can't remember. Sydney. And Sydney rested all their players for the last round because they had it sewn up. They were top.
This is when Freo were doing this all the time as well. In 2015, they rested about 12 guys and they had 10 debutants.
Yeah. He goes, I've never been less motivated to play a game of footy in my entire life.
Knowing you can't play finals?
Yeah. Knowing that you're already there, away from home. You've just watched that game on the Saturday night that's just decided you've been robbed.
Fate.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think they got done by a goal. Like, it was tight.
Yeah.
It wasn't a blowout where you can leave at halftime going, you were riding it for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
It was a classic combo with Gaffy. He remembered that one.
It is interesting, but I also have the firm belief of don't put yourself in that situation.
So all the best to Gaffy 250. It's Tim
Congratulations.
Kelly's massively. So durable. I think he holds the record for most consecutive games played for the West Coast Eagles.
Cool.
Who's number 2?
JD?
No. Dean Cox.
Right.
Yeah, super durable, old Coxie.
Yep.
And there's now 8 players above. So Gaffy moves into 8th, equal 8th.
For what?
Games played at the club.
Right.
So who's above him?
Above him would be Hearn, Jakovic. Can you get the list up so I can tick
so
them off
you can
one
actually
by one?
find out if you're doing well.
It's an interesting one because
he's equaled someone. So someone retired on 250.
You'll hear our conversation with Jeremy McGovern to come, and the way Jeremy had an interesting perspective because he was the same draft year as him and Jack Darling, who have both played 250 games, and he's had a different career path, yet he's still a 4-time All-Australian. So it's a great lesson for you individually and for different people. You can have different paths to get to the same outcome. To be a superstar footballer, you don't have to be a superstar at 18. You can take your time, develop, go through ups and downs and still become a great player and great person too, which I thought was exciting. Do you have the list up for me?
I do, but before we go on to that, I wanted to ask him something about the hip because I had, as you have enough pots and fans kind of ask you questions about, hey, what's happening with this player? Do you get that a lot? Do you get people?
Yes, I do.
Sure. So people would ask me, like, what's happening with Gov? Like, you've gone from 4 straight All-Australians, like, opposition teams are game planning around
what was his last year as an Australian? 2019?
2020.
He was Australian.
Sorry, 19 is correct.
Yep.
And then he had the 2 years where he wasn't at his peak compared to what those 4 years were.
Yep.
And then I remembered hearing from someone about this hip that he's been carrying. Yep. And when someone would say to me, mate, what's happening with McGovern? What's happening with McGovern? Yeah, what are we going to see? And I would say to them, this is the year where you can properly judge McGovern's form, I think.
He would have been an All-Australian if you
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, like, I said to people pre-season, I was like, let's judge him on this year because he's finally got that body right. And what do you know? And I think he deflects a bit of that hip pain when we asked him about it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say this in front of him, but it was almost like if he dominates this year, we kind of know how much that played a factor in it.
Key defenders are very hard to be consistently an All-Australian. So Harris Andrews is 26 and he was a 2-time All-Australian at 23, 24. Hasn't been an All-Australian since. And it's because guys game plan against really good defenders and it's out of their control.
What about team performance as well? Like, do you?
He's a massive factor. So
because Simo Ray's, he's like, I think TB's in All-Australian form, but you're probably not going to get looked at when you're last on the ladder.
I remember having my first press conference in 2018, and they asked me, who do you think were All-Australians? And I listed about 10 blokes, and about 7 of them were in the squad of 40. And the same 7 will be nowhere near it this year, just because we're nowhere near the top of the ladder. But I do think TB at least deserves to be rewarded with a squad selection.
Hearn, you guessed.
So I'm going to guess Hearn.
Yep.
Cox.
Yep, that's your 1-2.
Kennedy.
Kennedy's in there at 7.
Djakovic.
Oh, hang on, is Kennedy 7? This might not be up to date, but yeah, Kennedy's in there. Djakovic is in there.
Darling. Yes.
Yeah, well, he is
Darling.
now. So this list isn't up to date. So that, all right, then he's joined him at 9th or something. Yeah, anyway, Darling's there.
Banfield.
Yep. Banfield 265. Embley was the one that retired on 250.
So how many more do I need to get?
So you're missing 1, and it's Guy McKenna.
Bluey.
Yep. He finished 267.
That's pretty good for me. I probably would have guessed him too if you gave me a chance.
You to
tell me who it was.
That's true. That's me. I've ruined the game for you. Thanks. But the only other thing was Tim Kelly. He's going to play his 100th AFL game.
And it's his birthday today. Happy birthday.
No way.
Yeah, it is.
Classic. So I don't know what the split is. Is it 52 and 48?
52.
There we go.
Bang, bang. Congratulations to both them.
Yeah, that's the one. The one thing before I finish and therefore go to
you hear our chat with Gov.
Yes. And like this is our goodbye as well because I can't be bothered doing another goodbye after the Gov because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But before I do, one thing I didn't get to the end of it was when he signed the mega deal and because there was a lot of speculation about, and I'm sure Freo came knocking with the father commitment and another WA club.
I don't know what he would have said.
No, I wasn't going to bring that part up, but that day that he signed, I was working a gig for a soccer game at Optus Stadium, which means I was in the truck doing live editing. It's not important. Thumper's life is not important on this podcast. But he rang me and I was like, wow.
Gov rang you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he rang me and he was like, hey, mate, like, I'm wondering if you can do something for me, hey? Like, I want to kind of have a cool Instagram video that kind of goes along with this moment.
He put on the Wolf of Wall Street.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he was
I'm leaving.
Yes, correct. So he rang me and I'm literally mid-shift and my shift finishes at 11 p.m. And I'm like, and it's being announced like the next day or it's been announced already. And he's like, do you mind like whipping it up for me? I'm like, mate. I'm like, what do I say?
It was a shabby Photoshop job, so I could tell you'd done it at 1 o'clock at night.
I finished at 3 a.m.
Oh my God. How long did it take you?
Clearly 3 hours.
It took you 3 hours to Photoshop that.
Yeah, because you have to move the faces based upon like when they. It's a fiddly process. Anyway, I didn't have the heart like Xavier O'Neill didn't have the heart to tell someone at our club.
Yeah, you'll hear that story as well.
I didn't have the heart to tell Gov, no, mate, I'm working. I finish at 11. I want to go home and go straight to bed.
It's funny. I wanted to do something else to announce mine, but the club had different stories. I remember coming in and Thumper's like, what is on our Instagram? I was like, I re-signed. You're like, sick. I was going to put something together, but obviously not anymore.
What would you have done?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'll have to wait for next time.
All right. Looking forward to it. Good on yours.
See you guys.
Here's Gov. It's great you stuck around even longer on Coast to Coast, and now it's the moment that many have been waiting for. It's not just Oscar and I spinning the wheel and talking absolute narn. We've got the 163 gamer. He's won a flag. I don't think he's got any room left on his All-Australian blazer to put a new emblem, but it's Jeremy McGovern. Welcome to the studio, man.
Thanks for having me.
What's going down?
No, not much really at the moment. Rehab. Rehab's what's about me at the moment, which is not great.
The silver lining of Gov being in rehab, I reckon this is the only time we get the big fish in the studio. I thought we were pushing uphill to be able to get him here, but I'm glad we've got him. How's your year been, mate? Obviously, been pretty bloody frustrating. I think you've obviously had an illustrious career, but you're in ripping form until you got a little back niggle, and it's kind of been one thing after another since then.
Yeah, I felt like I started really well. Felt good. And
mate, you were on.
Yeah, I was on.
Yeah, you were killing it.
I was feeling good. Body was good. I had that hip surgery last year.
Well, let's touch on that. I want to start there. So how long were you playing with this hip and how much was it seriously hindering you to play, 20 and 21?
Yeah, I'd had it for a while. I didn't actually think it was hindering me that much until I had it. And then after I was like, all right, that was stupid. Why didn't I get this done earlier?
So you felt $1 million, come March or come December?
I was pretty good. We sort of rushed it to the back end of last year. I missed the last game because I couldn't get up because of the hip. So it sort of forced me to get it done. Then obviously not playing finals helped with the recovery time. So I felt pretty cherry ripe sort of December, and then pre-season felt really good, and then obviously that flowed on to the year, and then you feeling really great, and then you get other injuries, which is footy, unfortunately, and it's very, very frustrating.
Let me start with the first one, because you copped the COVID early doors. You missed 2 weeks through that little period.
Yeah.
What was it like returning and playing through it all? Did you find that once recovery had set in after the 2 weeks, you were kind of good to go, or did you find there was some lingering effects? You're like, oh man, this is like playing with half a lung.
Yeah, my lungs aren't best at the best of times, so you still sort of felt it a little bit. It wasn't hindering you too much, but you definitely didn't feel 100%. But after a week or so, you'll find you're back into it.
Did you just ping pong it throughout the family, like kid to mum?
Lock everyone in the same room? Or?
Yeah, we all did. We all got it pretty quickly. I reckon the kids had it before us, but you just don't know.
Just throw them on the bus, and I'm going to
I'm blaming. No, I know exactly who had it and who gave it to me, and his name's Darcy Reader. And I reckon he knew, because my 30th birthday was that weekend, and I knew that he knew he was going to miss out because he had COVID, so he come and gave it to me to make sure I missed out.
Cancel the whole thing?
The whole thing's cancelled, yes, it was. Surprise party, the whole lot. So
it's pretty clever from Darcy.
Yeah, real clever, Darcy. I appreciate that.
Then, so you got over your COVID, came back, and then round 11 against the Dogs. Do you have a sore back going into that week? Or was it just kind of, so it was a bit sore throughout the week and then copped a knock and was no good during the game? Or how did it come about?
Yeah, no, I just slipped. It was weird. I had a sore back. It was a bit stiff, whatever. And then, slipped weirdly and landed on my rectum. And then it, stirred it up from there. And then it was just sort of a constant battle trying to get it right.
You were talking nerve pains though, or the telecast was?
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, it wasn't muscular. We tried to loosen. We did everything we could to try and loosen all those muscles up, but it was just, it was a bit nervy.
But you'd had it before, right?
Yeah, I had it on the other side a couple of years ago.
And what is the sensation like for anyone that hasn't been through nerve back stuff? Is it shooting throughout, like going to legs?
Yeah, it shoots down your legs, and it's just random. So I'll bend over once and I feel fine, and then you're just walking and then you just automatically will start shooting down your back again. So
sounds joy.
Oh, sounds great. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yes.
Love footy.
And what's preventative to do that now? Like get limber?
Yeah, it's just working on your flexibility stuff. And I reckon personally, I just think it's a little bit luck as well. You just got to hope you don't get a sore back.
Fair.
I'm not sure whether you want me sharing this or not, Gav, but I love the fact that you were saying your body's feeling as good as it could. You got over COVID, and then we cracked down at the footy club and we're like, boys, let's really focus in on doing the little things well. Everyone in the ice bath all the time, smashing your recovery. We've been doing that for a week, and Gav's like, my back's sore because I've been in the ice bath the whole time now. I've never had a sore back, and now I'm in the ice bath 3 times a week, and all of a sudden it's stiff again.
Yeah, I'm looking for any excuse to get out of those ice baths, that's for sure. I told Maddie to jump on my back when I was at home because I didn't want to get in the ice baths now. But it's true. Also, it's very true.
So round 14 is the one where you've reached for a footy and it was a little bit out of grasp and someone's come through. Who was it that came through?
Big Jezzy Cameron.
Yeah, it's sick.
Pointy hips.
He flushed me, it didn't look like much, and it didn't look like much at all. Yeah, I've looked at it myself, and but it felt a lot bigger than that. I was thinking this is going to be a big, nice footage of me getting crumbled, and I looked at it, I almost started crying, thinking, far out, surely I'm not in hospital with a punctured lung and broken ribs because of this, surely not. But he got me flush, and I here where I am now, so yeah.
All right. You probably know the question's coming. The comparison to the prelim v Melbourne. Which one was honestly worse?
I'd have to say this one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one was, it's a fair bit worse, yeah.
Why is that?
Because I broke 3 ribs. The other one was just like an internal knock. So we just got, I don't know, it was weird because it got inside. I don't know how to explain it, but I got like an internal cork, which I could work through. This was 3 broken ribs and punctured lung and
hard to work
some
through,
pneumothorax, and that was probably the main thing. Like the other one was really sore, but you could sort of move. This one I couldn't move or breathe probably. Right. So yeah.
And the first night in hospital, I'm guessing, was just the worst of the lot.
I did the tour. I toured.
Go on.
I've done the hospital tours. I went to the Mount. I thought, oh, beautiful, I'm going to stay here and it's nice. Had to put a friggin', tube in you through my ribs to get all the air out of my lung. Oh. Then I had to get transferred in the hospital, in the ambulance to Royal Perth. I don't know why, but I did. And then I got there at 12 o'clock on Saturday night.
What time was the game finishing? Like,
it was like a midday game.
Yeah. I was there for a while. It was, and I understand everyone's so busy, so I wasn't complaining. I was just sitting there and waiting my turn. And then we got to Royal Perth, and it was like Grey's Anatomy, like it was whatever. I don't know what shows they're
Heaving.
called. Heaving.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, this could be a TV show, and there's stuff, security everywhere, everything's going on. I'm thinking, I'm not meant to be here right now.
Yeah.
Went there and then spent a couple of hours there, and then woke up in the morning and got transferred back to the Mount.
So you're doing some laps out there now. So where's it at when you want to try and move? What are some of the things you still can't do?
I can start running now. The main thing's probably just weights, lifting too much, and contact, obviously. But I can just start building up running now. Cardio stuff's pretty good. Building up weights, and then hopefully, back.
So first and foremost, injuries suck, but the silver lining, I guess, for us and the stage rate of the football club this year, some younger guys get an opportunity.
Yeah.
And particularly, I'd like to hear your opinion on how Rhett Bazzo's going. He's playing that pseudo key defender role, but he's probably playing on like the third tall at times. How do you think his development's handled? And obviously, you're not out there, so he's probably having situations where he's getting put on the better players. How have you found his form?
Yeah, I think his form's been pretty good, especially for a young kid, obviously only just freshly drafted, and he's been sort of thrown in the deep end a little bit. But I think he's going to be a star personally. The way he's sort of trained, and I've seen him at training and doing body work with him. He reads the ball really well. He's got good skills for his height as well. But that is the silver lining. Obviously, myself not playing, we can get some games into him now, and he seems like the type of kid that you let him go a little bit, let him learn, and he'll start picking it up. So. I'm really excited about him moving forward.
You've assessed the first year crop now. You had a bit of time. When I asked you that 6 months ago, you said Campbell Chester still hasn't put a shirt on at the footy club after being here a month.
Yeah, he still hasn't, I haven't seen him put one on.
He's actually getting sloppier now as well, so it's about time he catches up with the rest of us. He's no longer the 18-year-old skinny ripped. He's now like putting on a bit of pud.
Yeah. What are your assessment on and off field for this first year crop?
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, they've the boys have really put their best foot forward. Obviously, Hoffy's pretty much played every game, and he seems extremely versatile. He's got a really good body shape, and he fill out a little bit, and he'll be doing some damage for sure. Obviously, I spoke about Rhett Chess, even though we haven't seen too much of him. I've just seen the small glimpses that we have. You can tell he's going to be a player. And Big Jack Williams, the same thing. He's got something about him that definitely draws your eye, and he's just got to keep working.
Most importantly, how are they going to fare in off-season trips? Are they going to put a good showing in?
I think there'll be a couple there that can hold their own for sure.
Yeah, I think a couple of them are in cracking form.
Yeah, I think they are. We might have to pull them back a little bit, but there'll be a couple for sure. I reckon a couple of those boys will be right up there.
Masto as runner, Gov. Talk to me about how that came about. Were you one of the main instigators to want to bring him back? Was he something that he hit you up and said, you know what I think you need? Me.
Yeah, no, he didn't, surprisingly. It was actually out of the blue. Simo sort of mentioned it to me that we're getting Masto back, and I thought the time where we're at and what we needed, at that time we needed Chris Maston at the footy club. Needed his energy and his experience and just a familiar face for some boys. So, yeah, Simo just mentioned that he was coming back, and I messaged him straight away, and he was trying to keep it a secret, make this big glorious surprise that he was going to come in and balloons going nuts. But
just run out solo at Optus Stadium by himself, you reckon?
Yeah, I'm glad he's back, but pink doesn't suit him. That's for sure. He looks a bit sloppy in pink.
He's the only one that rolls around in the full trackie as well.
Does.
So there's like the normal pink, but he wears the trackie. And so another bloke in your draft here, Gaffy. Mm-hmm. Crazy to think you're drafted yourself, Scotty Lysette, who's obviously was a premiership player before he went to Port, JD, Gaffy. Fair crop, and Gaffy, JD had his 250th a couple of weeks ago. Gaffy's had his 250th now.
Yep.
I've had a lot of interesting conversations with you, particularly early on about, obviously you took a while to get to the stage where you are, and those two were the freaks that you get drafted and they're pretty much playing straight away. How did you cope with that? Because that was something I didn't play much my first year, and I found frustrating seeing guys my age playing and you're just kind of watching. How have you coped with that throughout your career?
Yeah, like I adjusted to it, and the day I'd sort of realised and spoke to people, and obviously everyone's journey is completely different. I'd love to have JD and Gaffy's journey for sure. That's great. They played 250 games. Obviously, I played 160 and injured every second week and everything else. But it's a testament to them as well. They're not just gifted it. These guys, they've worked hard. They've been in footy systems since they were probably 13, 14. And I'm not surprised they've made Gaffy's making 250. Extremely consistent player for us since I can remember at this footy. Since he stepped foot in the footy club, he's been one of our better players each week. And I'm extremely proud of him, and I'm sure he's got plenty more to go. But the day I realised I'm not Andrew Gaff and Jack Darling was change of mindset for myself and just trying to get myself right and do what I can do for myself, not try and live my life through someone else's career, I guess.
Remember the camp that you all went on? Was it Stirling Rangers camp?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a grueler, seeing Jack Darling, Gov and Gaff do all these tests and like strength tests with Gov and JD. JD was like holding watering cans, and it was who could hold them the longest?
Yeah, who could hold it the longest, and then everyone failed except, Jack won it, obviously.
Yeah.
But then to top it off, he started doing bicep curls with them after holding these jerry cans for least 28 minutes. And then he just looks there and says, I could have done it all day. And that was when you knew, all right, this bloke's different kettle of fish.
Do you remember when I got you, this is in first year, clearly, no star power yet, when I got you and Gaffy to help star in JK's mockumentary? So you had to go around to Gaffy's host parents, the Marshes, and you were cleaning up water that was getting spilled on your head by JK and you and Gaffy. And that was really...
as a first year, you let them do that?
Yeah, we were basically like...
It was forced.
Mate, they were happy to do it. They were honestly like, we could be around JK and be on TV. This is great.
JK come and introduced himself to me. I'd been there for three months. And he goes, g'day, mate. How you going, Josh? Thanks for doing this. I was like, mate, I've been training with you.
Have you ever heard the X O'Neill story?
No.
So you know Pete Cerise, who works upstairs. Yeah. So Pete Cerise is like he's an extra staff member basically. He worked downstairs in the footy department, and he moved upstairs the end of 2018 and
doing building admin.
Yeah, building admin. So Xavier O'Neill had been here for the end of 2019. So he's been here for 2 years, and he was just getting a coffee. And Pete Cerise has come up to him and go, hey, mate, how you going? How are you enjoying your work experience here? Not knowing he's a listed player. And X didn't have the balls to tell him, mate, I'm a player. And he went, yeah, mate, like really enjoying it, getting to spend some time with the boys, like completely had to go with it.
Oh, God, Pete Cerise, mate, he's forgotten where he's come from very fast.
That's Pete. Very good. That's very good. I got one footy question before we break, Gov. Yep. Going back to 2014 when you first started, how do you find how much more the advanced tactics are now in the game, or maybe in particular the back line? You had that season of 2018 where everything kind of flipped, where you're really doing a lot more zoning and different structures altogether. When you reflect back on the first year, I know you started forward and you're kicking bags against the Blues in your debut, but how far do you think it's travelled in, 9 years?
Yeah, I think it's changed heaps, like so much. The comparison, I think it's very hard to compare today's game to what it was back in the day. I think it's purely from rule changes, and I think it's what the AFL want. But yeah, to this day and age now, you need to be doing every single little thing. Back in the day, blokes should get away with a couple of weaknesses and playing games. Now you can't really get away with it. And tactically, yeah, it's similar in a way, but it's a lot more craft. So it's actually on the individual and the way that they do things now. And before you could do stuff, I guess, it's very hard for me to explain. You could do stuff a bit different and it might not work and you could get away with it. If you do it a bit different, you're not getting away with it, you're getting exposed. And it's coming down to each moment, instances, contests.
So the margin for error is a lot less now.
Oh, heaps less, okay. I feel now in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think even since I got to the club in 2018, we used to always talk about we'd make mistakes, but then someone would save the day, right? They'd just save it for us, and then we're going away. That rarely happens anymore. It's kind of like if we have one mistake, it's just chip, goal. Like there's actually not much you can do because the skill level's so good now. And with all like the 666, I know a lot of people don't think it has much impact, but it's just so hard to get any support defensively, which is the big thing that affects you as a key defender.
Yeah, and then because it's 666, the only way to get support now is through work rate. So you've got to be fitter. You've got to be able to cover the ground. You've got to be able to get to contests, and that's sort of where it plays out. You look at the game. It's won or loss in the midfield. Which midfield can work forward and back the best and outnumber at any contest they can, and that pretty much wins a game.
Great insight. I was just having a look at your socials for a little bit of what can I ask the great man. There's a lot of Darcy. There's more Darcy than your missus, I reckon.
Yeah, I need to fix that. Then she'll be killing me. Nah. I've never even noticed that.
But wife Mads and Hudson, the firstborn, he's got some company now. So how's the family of five travelling? How does Hudson blend with the other two?
Yeah.
Give me a bit of life at home with Gov.
Yeah, Huddo's he loves them. Yeah, he's pretty good. Obviously got Marley now. She's 2.5, and then I got young one Louis. He's 8 months. So life at home is hectic. 3 is proper hectic. It's good. I love it, but it is full on. Thinking about tying it up. Yep. That's for sure.
Yep. I was just doing some snip.
I've got to pass that through my missus first. She's gonna kill me.
More, you reckon?
Oh, mate,
More
she
says
would,
Matt.
Maddie would have 1,000 if she could.
What's the final line like? What's the most you could deal with, you reckon?
No, three.
Yeah,
Three is as most as
So
I
it's
could
well
do
and
it.
truly done.
I'm happy with that, but it's not all about me, Ozzy.
Yeah, mate.
And what we'll all understand, it's not about me. It's about Maddie and the family. So, but yeah, family's going well, enjoying the hell out of it.
Shout out to Das. There was a lot of pictures of him, a lot of fishing. So how often are you getting out on boats now?
Not enough, mate. Yeah, not enough lately. Half the time I'm injured, so I can't really get out fishing. But
Post-season, you got a few big ones planned?
yeah, I'll try and wet a line post-season. I'm sure I'll be able to sneak a couple of days in there. But yeah, I do love going fishing.
Tell us about the work you're doing with the Wanderer program,
Yeah.
Gov. And then in particular, the motivation behind it and the 20 odd years of service your old man put into it and the inspiration behind it.
Yeah, so we obviously started a foundation. It is not for profit foundation, and the program running is a Wanderer program, which is sort of start to finish driver's license program to help disadvantaged youth get their licenses. And it sounds extremely very bland and specific, which it is specific, is what we wanted, but the actual impact of it's massive. Well, Indigenous people, there's 9% of them have their license.
9%.
9% was the last stat we looked at. 9% of them have their actual driver's license.
Yep.
And the opportunity at the moment for not just Indigenous or disadvantaged people, but everyone in general, there's so much opportunity for work. And obviously Dad, working his 20 years at Clontarf, the biggest issue he'd found was not the opportunity for work, but the opportunity to get to work. They couldn't get jobs purely because they can't actually get there. So Dad was looking for these programs for years, trying to find someone to align with to try and help the process. Couldn't find one, and he kept bugging me to set something up. So I'd set it up with him, and ever since we've set it up, the impact's been massive, like huge. I couldn't believe how big of impact it's been so far.
Do you need a hand? Are you looking for drivers out there? You're looking for people to help with employment or not?
We always are. Yeah, we're starting to branch out to Kalgoorlie at the moment, down to Northam, and we've got big plans. We want to get this. We'd love to get this national one day. So we got massive plans. But anyone that's interested in driving, and the driving's not just sitting in the car and driving. We run a mentor program when we're in the car as well, because we're in the car with people for 50 hours. So why not? Instead of wasting 50 hours
That's
away.
true. We're going to do listen to 96 FM.
For a few days.
Exactly. No, Nova, mate. We like Nova.
I'm 94.5. Yeah. We all got different ones.
So but anyone interested, it's great job. The impact and the amount you're giving back to the community is huge. So that and anyone that's out there, obviously we're not for profit, so all the funding that we can get actually goes a long way.
Mint.
Awesome. We've got a number of fan questions for you.
Yeah.
I reckon a lot of these are from your mates.
Probably.
First one from Trevor Parfitt. How's the 200 going after you drowned it in Lano? Do you want to give us a bit of context to that one, mate?
I said, I don't know. You're going to have to ask the bloke who bought it. I did drown it. That was a fair one. I'm still not living that down. That's one of the biggest moments in my career, I reckon.
I don't think we've talked about it enough then.
Yeah, I would leave that.
And you never told the bloke who bought your car off you.
No, look, I washed it, cleaned it, did everything, and I traded it in like everyone trades their cars in.
Sounds like I got inside wash.
No, and to be honest, it was fine when I had it. It had no issues whatsoever. It's just barely broken in.
Roger. Well done.
All right, we've got another one from Tristan 98. A bit more footy based. Who's the toughest opponent you've played?
Mate, and that's what to talk about footy now. There's every single forward you play against at the moment is tough.
Yeah.
And that's where the game's changed as well. But you can't go past Bud. He's hard. They all are. Tom Lynch.
You'd have him for pace, wouldn't you?
Bud?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe now when he's 36, but not in his heyday. No, he still is pretty quick. But extremely smart player, Bud.
Plenty of questions on Albany, so I can't name individuals on this case, but it was favourite beach in Albany, favourite oval, maybe just favourite thing to be doing in the great town, eh?
Yeah, beach is out of control. You get the right weather down there and you'll be going back for sure.
Is there
Fishing.
many beaches though?
Yeah, many beaches.
What's your favourite, mate?
I'd go Misery's Beach would be my favourite.
Roger. Favourite oval? Kicked a bag anywhere?
Oh, North Albany, Collingwood Park. Can't beat it.
And what's your favourite pastime when you're there?
Fishing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the trifecta for me.
Speaking of fishing, mate, Rob Sorensen, what's the biggest fish you've ever caught? So, biggest snapper, jewfish, what was the biggest one? And were you just a little bit tougher in 2018 than you are now?
Yeah, I must be, I must be.
You're just getting old like the rest of us, mate.
Yeah, I'm getting old. I'm just having a bad run, but maybe I'll have a good look in the mirror tonight and see if I'm tougher. But biggest fish would probably be like a Dewey, 15 kilo Dewey is probably my biggest fish.
I have no clue what that means.
It's
big fish?
It's big fish.
Big fish.
It's good fun.
This is a different one. Summer Jade, our favourite subject at school that wasn't PE.
Woodwork.
Did you make anything good? You make anything that you still
Mate,
got
my old
now?
man still got it. My dad has got this, I don't know what it was.
Is it an ashtray-ish?
Nah. It was a remote holder to hold remotes.
Right.
I'll get a photo of this thing.
Is it a Barry Crocker or what?
Nah, it's a ripper. My old man's still got it. He loves it. I've still got it. I've seen it at his house the other day. I said, what do you got this for? This is trash. But he's just proud of me and my woodwork.
Epic. Talia Paskov wants to know the cheat meal. So let's pretend like what I love to see was always the last game of the season and the boys coming back to the airport. And then they just branch off back in the day. It probably still happens. And
mate, last trip's generous. I reckon it's pretty much every away trip. Once you get back from the airport, everyone's going.
So cheat meal. What are you locking in?
Oh, pizza. I just love pizza, eh?
Well, then what's your favourite pizza joint in Perth?
Oh, you know what? Monstrella.
Yeah,
I'm going with Monstrella.
Oh, you good, eh?
Absolutely outstanding. Or Pizzaka.
Pizzaka's good.
Yeah, Pizzaka's good. They've had to change the menu though, so.
Oh, have they? I haven't been there for a while.
It's not as good as it used to be.
Oh, there we go. Shout out.
Brent, shout out, but you're now not as good as you were. Brent Gill, who is the best plumber at West End currently?
The best plumber.
And who's the worst?
The best plumber's Ash Wadsey.
Yep.
And our worst plumber is Scotty.
And who are you sending out if like JK or one of the boys has got something wrong? Are you sending out the worst of the worst?
I'm sending the apprentice, mate.
Yeah.
I'm sending the apprentice and charging him full hog as well. I only send the best out for the boys and everyone.
Riley Hyatt 05, other than the Eagles, what are some of your favourite sporting teams? So like, is there any team that you'll just have to watch at all time in any other code?
Yeah, look, I'm not a massive sports tragic, to be honest. I've been getting into golf a little bit lately. NBA, if I am watching NBA, which I do a little bit, is Bulls, Chicago.
I thought you were a Bulls man.
Do you watch any footy at all or not?
Yeah, I'll watch it a bit when it's sort of on. I'm not religiously watching it. No. It's not on the routine to watch. But yeah, when it's on and I see a good game on, I'll watch my brother as much as I can.
Where are you playing golf?
I haven't been playing golf. I've been watching it.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
I'm watching it so much that I want to play, but the ribs are holding me back at the moment from a few things.
That'd go down well.
You want to go?
No, you go.
No, you go, mate.
I got Das _23.
This is him. What's he got?
Who won the Rod Gillies Media Association BNF and New Colts here in Albany? Seems like there's a bit of backstory to that one, mate.
Oh, mate. He will never shut up about this. He's won one award in his life, and it's Rod Gillies medal, the best Colts here, and he never tells
he knocked you off.
This isn't like
because I was playing league. He's playing Colts. Do you know that one guy that was the overage Colts player?
Oh, he's like 20 playing Colts.
That was Darcy. And then to top it all off, he's the type of guy that everyone sort of likes. And the umpire, there's this one umpire that umpired him every week, was his best mate. Darcy would have 3 touches and get 3 votes. And Darcy won it. And he's still got it framed up in his house and everything else. But Darcy won it, yes, Darcy, we know you won.
He's still playing footy, eh?
He's still having a tour down at Wesley Curtin, which Thumper obviously knows Wesley very well.
They're in good form at the moment. Yeah.
They're going to be very hard to beat this year by the sounds of it.
Is he playing league?
He is.
What, South Freo Football Club?
Yeah, legit. It is South Freo plus Darcy.
I got a couple more for you. So Grey Mysterio, love the name. Who's your pick for the Woosha medal?
Oh, I'm going with Tommy. I'm going with TV.
Yeah, I think Tommy wins it. Tommy or Redo?
Yeah, yep. Oh, TK's been pretty good.
Have you seen Tom be in better form than what he's currently in right now?
Nah, not his last 2 weeks. They're like 2 of the bigger games he's had. But I reckon I've seen him be in just as good a form, but not as big a games, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like his form's normally pretty consistent for us, but I feel like the last couple of weeks his game's been huge.
It's funny, like when you watch key defenders, and some people just look at the stats, but it's rare that you get the combination of, because sometimes, and you'll understand, you'll have your best game, but you'll have 6 touches because you're just doing everything right. And it's rare you get a combination of he's doing so much good stuff in terms of the man he's playing on and beating him, but then also getting a truckload of the footy as well. Like, you rarely find that.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely in the sweet spot at the moment.
2 to go before we run, and I don't know if you're going to pick one of mine, Oscar, but Jax Holbrook won 5 flags with his dad, no problem. What position do you play as a junior? And I think I know the answer.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
You play some ruck?
I played ruck at Claremont, yes.
Yep.
But I was stay-at-home forward in the cage. What I used to do, actually, in Albany, they used to, the weather was so bad that you normally only score up one end. So I'd just stay up the end that the ball was going. So I'd play full forward, then full back.
Right.
Full forward, full
So
back.
you're telling me that you tap someone on the shoulder and say, you're going down the other end and barely touching the ball all game?
That was a coach's call. I never, ever said that. So, yeah, I'd kick 9 and stop 10. So,
What do you want to finish with? Is it Forby Club?
Nah, it's not. I hate the Forby Club.
You want to be in the Forby Club?
well, there was a Forby club.
Like
four-wheel drive club?
Truey and Shuey.
Hey?
Truey and Shuey, how they just always drive going on.
What is
going on?
This Forby club. He never even owned a
I've
four-wheel
never
drive
seen
before.
his socials going off like they have been the last 48
He's
hours.
a rev head now. I
He's
don't know what's
posting that
happened.
much.
I caught him hooking up with his car the other day. I had to tell Danny.
Last one for you, from me. Live Flora, and I'm actually interested in how you found it. What was it like having the doco filmed in 2020 around the side? Obviously, they were doing, it was a lot about Nick, but it was funny because he always had a mic on him, so I don't reckon anyone actually spent much time with him that year because no one wanted to talk to him if he's got the mic on him because you don't want any private conversations getting out. How did you find that, and would you ever be interested in doing something like that in the future?
Oh,
Depends how
probably
many dollars
not in
throw.
that setting. It was pretty intrusive. Like I like you said,
Yeah.
it was like we're in the change room. He's got the mic on and the camera's around.
Yeah.
So everyone's just like, Butley, see you later, Nick.
Yeah, get
Poor
away.
Nick. I felt for him because everyone was trying to get away from him as much as they could. But yeah, it was that's the thing, it made it hard because we didn't know. You put a lot of trust in the camera guys and
the editors,
Amazon
big time,
and
yeah.
editing. Like that's a lot of trust you're putting in someone.
The
and we know
the
what
club
they can.
filters it. Like, they were never going to put it
Yeah,
in on
but
the
you
club.
just never know.
Yeah.
You never know. It could have gone bad, but
It's true.
Well, the other thing is you don't know when he's got it on or doesn't have it on. Like, it's all the time.
Yep.
yeah, it was flat out. But he staged a lot of his stuff, Nick, mate. He's pretty boring.
Didn't know he played the guitar and sung, huh?
That was so cringe.
I actually haven't seen it.
That was actually shocking.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen that clip. Jeremy McGovern, I appreciate you stopping by, and so do all the fans. We didn't think we'd get you, but the ribs made it possible. Enjoy what's remaining of the year, a good off-season, and some more form of what we saw in the middle of 2022. It'd be magnificent.
I hope so. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thank you,
mate.
Ledge.